right. Come one, come all. For another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses. And then we are going to pit them against each other and decide who would win in our own minds because we have no means or ability to do anything else. So, that is what we do around here. All right. We are pitting two bosses in a battle to the death, as I said before. And the first boss up for bids is the Demon of Hatred from Sekiro. Ooh, boy. Demon of Hatred is tough and is one of the only bosses in Sekiro that kind of because on the Sekiro, real quick, on the Sekiro No Healing Gourd run, I spoke about how much I love Sekiro, but the only thing I missed from it was going through those fog doors in like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and be like, oh my god, what is behind this fog door? You know, you never know what you're gonna see, what you're gonna get. You know, Demon of Hatred is about as close as it gets. There's a couple others in Sekiro, like the Divine Dragon. I think is pretty cool boss design, but yeah, Demon of Hatred is a formidable opponent, to say the least. All right, we're going to take this wheel for another spin. We are going to attempt to determine who is going to be facing... Well, we're not going to attempt. We're going to do it, you know. Assuming my computer doesn't explode right here in front of my face. But we are going to determine an opponent for the Demon of Hatred, and it is going to be Sin the Slumbering Dragon, huh? Ooh. I can't remember any discernible features about Sin that would make him tougher than the average dragon. Oh boy, that one's tough, I think. I'm really going to have to get down to the bottom of that when I analyze. So, yeah, that's a very interesting fight. So, to start things off, let's take a look at the Demon of Hatred. Now, I really hadn't read too much into Sekiro lore in the past. I just hadn't, for whatever reason. But I was stunned to find that the Demon of Hatred is actually the sculptor, your friend that helps you out during the course of the game and gives you the shinobi prosthetic and does the upgrades and all that stuff. He was once a powerful shinobi that trained amongst the monkeys in Sunken Valley, and they gave him the nickname Orangutan. Now, if anyone else had given me that nickname, I would be asking for a redo, but since it was monkeys, I guess, you know, makes sense. But when he was still the shinobi, he found Emma starving on the battlefield and then sent her to Dogen to become a doctor. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but I apologize. Over time, the shinobi became affected by Shura, which is a condition that basically turns you into a beast. And in order to save him from being consumed by Shura, Lord Ishin of the Ishina clan sliced off his arm, which helps somehow, I guess. Now the one-armed orangutan, Dogen constructed a prosthetic for him, and the sculptor continued to train and kill with it, which renders Ishin's solution completely useless. Eventually, he begins to realize that he can't keep going like this, because the flames of hatred are manifesting in his soul. So he retreats to a remote temple in the outskirts of Ishina. He becomes the sculptor and starts crafting Buddha idols, but every Buddha idol that he creates has a face of wrath on it. Like, it's not the peaceful Buddha, it's the demon Buddha. Eventually, the sculptor finds Wolf after he is left for dead by Genichiro, and he gives Sekiro the prosthetic arm. Later on in the game, you discover that the sculptor suffers from dragon rot, but it can't kill him. Once you defeat the Divine Dragon in the game, the sculptor disappears from the temple. And one of the vendors tells Wolf that he saw the sculptor stumbling away, mumbling something about flames. Eventually, when you go back to the place where you fight the horse dude, the whole place is on fire and destroyed. and you see that there is a demon there, and that is the Demon of Hatred, who was once the sculptor. Demon of Hatred is unquestionably one of the tougher bosses in the game, and certainly a formidable a warrior for SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Sin, you may be stunned to find, is a dragon who slept a lot. He's a long-sleeping dragon who was discovered by the people of Shova, Sanctum City. The Sunken King built Shova around Sin and created Dragon Sanctum for him so that he could rest peacefully. Which in my mind does quite the opposite, but that's just me. Eventually, Sir Jorg and the Drakeblood Knights mount a siege on Shova to kill the dragon and steal its blood, believing that it grants a true understanding of life, quote-unquote. I would have liked an explanation as to why they thought that, considering that's very vague. Jorg and the Drakeblood Knights are able to kill all the guards and fight their way all the way to Dragon Sanctum, where Jorg goes face to face with Sin. It doesn't go very well. Sin expels a whole bunch of poison that was built up in his body for whatever reason, which completely wipes out the whole city and kills Jorg. So, just before rendering the verdict here, I actually watched a boss fight of Sin, just in general fighting, because I was really... It's been a long time since I had anything to do with Sin or Dark Souls 2. I did not see anything in that fight that would convince me that Sin would do very well against the Demon of Hatred. Especially if poison is his only weapon. I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter to the Demon of Hatred. I think Demon of Hatred wins. It would be an interesting fight, I think, but it's certainly not a squash. Like I don't think Demon of Hatred just smushes Sin and leaves. But yeah, in my opinion, Demon of Hatred takes it. But that is only my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. RobertBlanchardBooks.com if you're interested in my books. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. We still have the Sekiro No Healing Guard run ongoing, and we always have SoulsBorne Battle to the Death on Wednesdays. So that is all there for you to consume, and I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like, subscribe. I appreciate your support. And as always, until next time, be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See you for live, y'all. Bye. What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge. It's for you to judge. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the Silver Medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won Silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.